This is the story of Little Red Riding Hood. It's set in the countryside, surrounded by trees and fields. And there, Little Red Riding Hood lived with her mum. Now her mum was cooking one day when she asked Little Red Riding Hood, "Can you help me by visiting your grandmother? She's very ill." Little Red Riding Hood was annoyed. "Do I have to?" The mum asked, please, can you help? We need to take some food and things. You know how difficult it is at the moment. Ugh, thought Little Red Riding Hood. Now, she was someone who did not really care. She was obsessed with her phone and everything inside it. She would be texting her friends. She would be focused on checking her Instagram. She didn't want to go out. "Fine," she said to her mother. Her mum was happy and gave her a basket full of food, full of fruit and cakes and sandwiches. It was heaped high, and told Little Red Riding Hood to go to Grandma's. "Ugh, fine," said Little Red Riding Hood, and off she set, walking through the woods, not really caring about the surroundings, but more interested in her phone. And suddenly she bumped into a woodcutter. "Hello, how are you? Where are you off to?" "I'm going to see my grandma's. She's not very well, you know." "Oh, yes, the grandma. She's been in bed for a long time. I haven't seen her for a while." "Yes," said Little Red Riding Hood. But inside, she did not really want to talk to him. She wanted to get back to her phone. The woodcutter was a nice man, of a kind heart, but he did come across as quite nervous. "Oh, okay, I'll leave you on your way." "Whatever," thought Little Red Riding Hood, and off she went, carrying on through the forest, past the trees. As she carried on going, she was still obsessed with her phone when she bumped into a big wolf. Hairy, tall, big ears and a long snout with very sharp teeth, and came shouting at her. "Are you trying to frighten me?" said Little Red Riding Hood. "I am not scared of you." "Ha! What?" thought the wolf. "No, I'm not bothered by you. You should be nice, be kind to people." "How?" thought the wolf. "Whatever," said Little Red Riding Hood. "I'm busy. Here, I need to try and find the map to my grandma's house." The wolf said, "Where was it you said you were going?" "I'm going to my grandma's house, so I just need to find it on the map and... Now, I've got a map right here, actually, on my phone." "Oh," said the wolf as he looked exactly at the address. "Fine, yeah, you go off." "Okay, bye, off you go then." So off she went, Little Red Riding Hood carrying on through the forest. But the wolf was feeling very, very thoughtful. He's not used to not being able to scare people. And then he realised, Grandma's house. Little Red Riding Hood would not be there for a while, so maybe he could get there before she did. Now, Little Red Riding Hood, she was very slow walking through the forest. She was just checking her phone, checking Instagram, taking photos of birds and butterflies, of flowers on the ground, and making sure she uploaded them all to her stream. She was a busy girl. She was relaxed. She was looking around. She was not bothered. Whereas the wolf, he was much more speedy and got to the house very quickly. He arrived and knocked on the door. Now, Grandma was very ill, so she croaked at the door. "Who's there?" "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," pretended the wolf. "Oh, yes, come in," said Grandma. "You know how to take the latch off." So the wolf tried, and in he went and pounced on Grandma, who was petrified and gobbled up in one. But wolf was still hungry, still wanted more food. And then he realised Little Red Riding Hood would be arriving soon. What to do? He looked in the wardrobe and found one of Grandma's sleeping hats and one of her night dresses to pretend to be Grandma. He sat in the bed. He got himself comfortable, each of his paw fingers coming over the sheet. But was Little Red Riding Hood there? No, she was ages. So he sat there ready for her to arrive and was just falling asleep when he heard a bang at the door. Oh, how exciting, thought the wolf. Who's there? He pretended to be Grandma. Little Red Riding Hood, she shouted. Now, Grandma, your voice sounds weird. It sounds really croaky. But you are ill, she thought. It's Little Red Riding Hood. I've come to visit you. Oh, come in, Little Red Riding Hood, pretended the wolf. You know the door's on the latch. Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been busy. Anyway, Little Red Riding Hood just ignored Grandma as she unpacked the basket of food. And as she looked at Grandma, she thought, Are you all right? Grandma, you look quite different. She thought she looked much hairier and with much bigger ears and paws. Grandma was sat there upright in bed, each of her fingers ready and big ears watching Little Red Riding Hood. You look different, Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood said. Your ears, they're very big. I'm sure before they were much smaller. Really? Said the wolf. Well, they're all the better to hear you with. Yes, but Grandma, your eyes, they're really big. Before they were much smaller. You look different. Well, my eyes, it was difficult to see before, but it's all the better to see you with, pretended the wolf. But Grandma, your hands. Oh, yes, my hands are all the better to sign with, pretended the wolf. And Grandma, you are so hairy. Well, it's cold. It keeps me warm, pretended the wolf. And your nose, Grandma, and those big teeth. Why do I have it? All the better to eat you with, shouted the wolf as he pounced towards Little Red Riding Hood. But no, she said. Stop, Grandma. That's not you. Who is this? And she pulled the hat off to reveal the wolf. And at that moment, the woodcutter came rushing into the room. What's happening? What's happening? Oh, okay. Is everyone okay? Oh, Wolf, you need to move over. Little Red Riding Hood, are you okay? Oh. Little Red Riding Hood looked between them. Calm down, woodcutter, and Wolf, you stop. You can't bully me. You can't eat me. That's cruel. Where is my grandma? Come on. The wolf said that I ate your grandma, gobbled her right up, and you're next. Next, said Little Red Riding Hood. No, you're a cruel wolf. Why are you always trying to attack people? You want to have friends. How are you going to make them if you just keep eating everybody? You're not frightened of me, said the wolf. No, said Little Red Riding Hood. Now give me my grandma back. Come on. No, said the wolf. No, said Little Red Riding Hood. And then she had an idea about the flowers she had in the basket. Oh, these lovely flowers I collected on the way here smell so nice. Would you like to have a smell? So the wolf took those flowers and gave it a big sniff. And as he did, his nose began to twitch. The Little Red Riding Hood was waiting. And as his nose began to twitch, he let out a ginormous sneeze, and Grandma just flew out of him. She was covered. You wanted to eat me for... Oh, get off me, you wolf. Get off me. That's it. Get out of the way, Grandma. Oh, look at me. Oh, look at this. How did I get here? Oh, you wolf, you should go. You trying to scare me. Little Red Riding Hood was not happy. Wolf, You do not need to scare everyone. You can be nice. You can have friends. Wait, here we go. So then Little Red Riding Hood decided to take a selfie of her with the wolf. Thanks, I'm going to put that on my Instagram story right now. The wolf was absolutely confused. Kind? How? I don't know how to. And then as he left the cottage, he was thinking about all of this as he went through the trees. And Little Red Riding Hood went back to her Insta feed. Everyone okay? Fine. Look after yourself, Grandma. And don't accept any strangers to come in. Make sure you check before you let them in. It's really important. Grandma agreed. I was tired and I was expecting you to come and I was very confused. Yes, Grandma, said Little Red Riding Hood. And the woodcutter? I'm just checking everything's okay. And then I'll go back to my work. And off he went. And then Little Red Riding Hood, she looked round, said goodbye to Grandma and went home.